Well, now that we have everything welded upstairs, if you want, um, it's time to weld this bottom seam. But I don't want to do that before we have put in this last small piece. Then we can do the whole seam at once. Of course in steps, but still, I'll find the right setting on the welder and stuff, and I don't want to do that twice. So we'll weld in this one first, and then we'll do it later. But I can't. I have the power supply and the gas and everything going through this small hole right now. Pretty short-sighted of me, but yeah, well. And the welder is hot, so I cannot turn it off. So instead of doing that today, I'll start by making this small one tomorrow instead. And then the rest of the day today, I'll grind off this welding on the outside. And for that, we have the new yellow discs for the grinder. And I'm really, really excited to see how these grind compared to the other ones we have. I have tested it already, but that was upside down, and that's really hard. So I couldn't really. It's hard to find out if it's the grinder not doing the job or it's just my arms being too weak pushing up the grinder. So now we'll try it on the vertical and yeah, see how that goes. Well, I must say that works. That's a whole other ball game. Absolutely fantastic. It's it's another world compared to the other grinding discs I had. I don't know. Again, I don't know about this brand, but in particular, but I do know that when it says 30% longer life, it counts for the weldings too, the welds too. So yeah, I'm happy. So let's get on with it. Hej målmand. Hvad?
Kaffe i dag, børn.
Well, today I thought maybe there's another way than just trying to measure the plate. We're going to make this small plate and put it in the hole over there, weld it in, and then we're practically done on that side. So I'm very excited about that. But I wanted to try something different today, so I took this piece of masonite, pressed it up against the hull. You saw me. I drew on it, and now we have this fine drawing of the hole that we're going to close. Now, how are we going to transfer this onto a metal sheet? I think I'm going to cut this out, put it on the metal sheet, draw a line around it. Let's see if that's doable. Otherwise, we'll figure out something else. There you go. Now, should we just go see if this fits in the hole first? I think so. And there we are, done. Just need some fiberglass and then we're finished. Okay. Let's go make a middle one. Okay, I found this piece of wood outside. I think it's from an old greenhouse we had. It's kind of rotten in the bottom, but nevertheless, it's perfect for this. It's half the thickness of the others. I think, is this a 2x4? I think it is. Going to mount it in here, all the way in the corner, and then fasten it in to the beam up here and the piece of wood, link this together and let it sit in the corner. Then see if we can make some kind of shelf between the two posts that are in there then. So yeah, let's do that. I just have to get a chisel so we can clean the corner. I just cleaned off the bricks because we have this very, very uneven layer of mortar on the top as well. Or I don't know what it's called. Maybe you can tell me what is this? It's some kind of mortar layer that you put on top of the wall to even it out. I don't remember. Anyways, the wall is bulging a little on the middle here, so I just removed some of it so that we can get the piece of wood as close to the bricks as possible. Yeah, so that we can get to join it into the beam up there. So let's see how long we have to make it. $165.5, $165.5, and then 1 centimeter more at the end. What about this? No. 165.5 and 166.5 at the other side. Let's do that. And I'm really sorry that I'm talking in centimeters, but that's all I can do. $165.5 over there, 166.5 over here. Perfect. Now we just need to take out these old screws. Yeah, this might not be possible. They're really, really bad. But then again, so is the wood. Nope. That's a little drill abuse. Haha, look at that. Look at that. Now I just need some longer screws to fasten this into this beam up here, and we'll fasten the other one into the beam up here as well, and then we're done with. Then we can start designing some shelves. Perfect. Well, now that we have the two posts up, I just wanted to show you guys. I want to mount the heater like this, approximately this height, I think. And then, because the exhaust is coming out of the bottom of the heater, it'll come out here and go through the wall. If I place the heater all the way down at the floor, then of course I'll have to drill the exhaust out down here, and on the outside we have a lot of vegetation and stuff like that. So I want the exhaust as high as possible out there. That's why we're doing this. Also, I'm going to mount this with the display against the wall, and that might be seem a bit silly, but the display is on the same side as the output from the heater, and I want to be able to make the heat, I want to direct some of the heat through this wall into the small workshop, and that's why I want the heat source to point face the wall. So it might make it a little more difficult display wise, but I think it's the best solution. So, okay, so what I've come up with is that I have these small brackets for putting up shelves, and I'll put them on here, and then we'll take a small a piece of wood on the inside in here and support the shelf in there as well. We'll have this combined with, well, only one of these. These two combined will keep the shelf up here. And for the shelf, I found this old plate. It should be plenty strong, and we can easily cut a hole, a big hole in the middle to accommodate the exhaust. So yeah, I just drew a line where I wanted, and I also got out my spirit level. So let's see if we can put up a shelf. And you have to excuse the screws, they're quite long, but it's the only thing I got. It's like with everything here, most of it is what I got. Now these brackets have a long side and a short side. The long and the short one. It's quite heavy. I think we'll do the long one in there and the short one out here. It's definitely not going to go anywhere. We'll do a third, just for safety. Okay. Now I'll have to find out where to put the bracket. Oh, thank God it's long enough. Like this. Yep. Now, one of the big jokes. Okay. Well, the bit just slipped out of the screw, and now I have a small hole in my finger. Well, I guess I better go get a band-aid. Just a moment. Okay, and we're back now with a band-aid. I hate when I do this. And I even promised Heidi I wouldn't cut myself. So, oh well. We'll try again. And this time, hopefully, not put it in my own finger. Come on. I think this one will do with only 2 screws. No, it won't. It definitely won't. Okay, we'll put in the third. They're very thin, these brackets, and just the slightest dent and they'll break or bend. But if they're mounted perfectly, they can hold a whole lot. Okie dokie. I do think this should be enough. Now we just have to cut the shelf so it goes in between the posts, and yeah, should be golden. Or should we mount the battery over there? We could of course utilize this end by putting the battery right here. Maybe turn it the other way, round the corner or something, and then nah, they're not big enough to hold the batteries and the battery, those small brackets, I don't think. But I do have some bigger ones. Now I don't know what to do. If I change this bracket on this one, I think we'll do that. Take this off, change it with this one, and then we can have the battery over here. We might even put one here to support the shelf there as well. Then we'll have support here, here, and we can put the battery on this side and the heater on this side, and we won't have to have anything down here except the exhaust. I think this is going to be really good. Let's cut the plate and see how stable it is. I absolutely love this machine. I have a smaller one as well, but this is the professional edition, and I love it. And this is one of the machines we got from Jack and Jack. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's so nice to use compared to the smaller one I had before. So, thank you very much. Okay, maybe we have to put some kind of brace underneath to make it not flex, but otherwise I think this is perfect. I'll just cut this in a round, or maybe we should just... Let's mount the heater first, and then we can always make it a bit nicer to look at afterwards when we know how much we need and how much we don't. But we definitely need something underneath here to brace it. So let's make that first. Now, if we could just find, if I just had some small screws that wouldn't go all the way through, we could fasten it onto this one over here, and then it shouldn't flex as much anymore. I think this board in here really made a difference. Well, it definitely did. But we still need something, and that might be it. So I'll go on the hunt for smaller, shorter screws. I'm just lining up where to cut the hole for the exhaust pipes and the intake, of course. Between these two, and from here to here. So at least we need to make a hole this big, I think. You can't see anything, sorry. So I think we need to make a hole around this size. We might as well make it big enough so that we're certain that we won't set fire to the whole thing. Now there are some things about this heater I don't really like. For instance, this fuel hose is very soft. Oh, I think... Hi! I got a visitor. Well, I guess that's it for today then. I'll see you again tomorrow. Well, now that we have the shelf in place, it's time to have a look at the exhaust. I want to drill a hole in the wall so that the exhaust that comes out of the bottom of the machine can go straight into the wall and through the wall and to the outside. So we lead the exhaust gases outside of the room. This gets really hot. And I have seen some guys on YouTube make large holes and insulation and everything, but I think that's because they have insulation in their walls and we don't. This is pure brick and concrete. And as far as I know, that can't burn. So we should be golden if we just drill a small hole that fits this pipe and then stick it through and put the muffler on the outside. Should be no problem. So yeah, let's do that. And for that, I have, I'm so lucky. Oh, we are lucky. We got this from Jack as well, along with all the other machines, or most of them. We got this set of large diamond drills. And at first, I thought, whatever am I going to use this for? But what do you know? Now I need it. Absolutely perfect. And if we needed to, we could drill an even larger hole, but I don't think we need that today. I think the smallest one is actually the one that's going to do it. It's a little bigger than the hose we have, or the exhaust pipe we have to run through it, but that's okay. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, no problem. And as far as I know, I can just, yeah, perfect. We'll just have to take this off hammer. Oh well, we'll find out. Let's plug it in and see how it goes. Nope. 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 Okay. I might have broken this machine. It is quite old, and I have used it for all the concrete in the boat so far. Ah, it's turning. I think that's it. Let's give it a go. This is exciting. Now, why did I have to do that? Oh well. Well, it fits. When I put them up against each other, they're exactly the same. So there should be a chance that it fits in the boat. I grinded the edges of the plate, as you can see. So provided that it fits, then this one is ready for installment. And then we just need to grind the edges in the hole, grind the frame as well, that it's going to be put up against. And then it's time to start up the welder again. Well, we're back inside the boat. I just cleaned off the rest of the hole in here. You didn't see that because the camera ran out of battery. But I cleaned it off, I sharpened the edges so we're ready down there. I found a piece of scrap iron. We're going to weld it onto the plate so I have something to hold onto. And yeah, I think we're ready. The weld is all set up, so let's get going. Well, we've finally finished. Look at this. It's absolutely amazing. It's a whole new boat. Well, at least right here. From the keel all the way up to above the waterline. It's brand new, fresh steel. And I love it. I really, really love it. This was one of the big problem areas. One of the big, I wonder what we're going to do with that places, you know. And it's absolutely amazing. Now I ground away some of the high points of this weld. Every time I stop and start, I make a high point, and I just ground those away. But otherwise this weld turned out really good. I think we have a very, very strong corner in here now. I made it quite big, as you might have seen. I made it quite big. I could have made it smaller, but I think making it bigger makes a bigger, more massive corner in there and makes it a lot stronger. So this is the way I went. I hope this is okay. Yeah, so now it's just left to bring out the spray cans and just give it a quick coat of zinc spray, and then it's on to the next project. Okay, that worked really well. But as I said before, this wall is very, very fragile. It's the bricks are soft, the mortar is soft, everything is soft in this wall. So, but that's okay. Haha, look at that. I think this is going to be absolutely perfect. Okay. Well, let's see about installing the rest. I think we'll have to mount the exhaust pipe on this one first, and the intake, air intake as well, before we stick it through the wall and fix that. So let's do that. Okay. Now we need to fix these onto the pipes down here, like this, and we need to put this one onto that one. This is the air intake for the burner. This is of course the exhaust from the burner. And we need to put some hose clamps on in there. I can't really use my fingers perfectly because I have this, from yesterday. Okay, we have some small screws. I think that's for maybe mounting these, I think. We'll save those for later. Then we have the big ones, and then we have the small ones. I think this is the ones we need, and we need to put them in there. And to be able to tighten those, I think we'll have to take off this so we can get something down that way. Let's do that. Ooh, I want a table that doesn't have any holes in it. Maybe that's a project as well. Whoops. Now for these, of course, we could use a Phillips head screwdriver, but I really don't like to do that. I would much rather take a top and then use it like this instead. Well, it's just much safer, and you have a lot more control over it. So if there's room, I'll use this. Yeah. Ah, I forgot the insulation. Now we have this. Okie dokie. At some point, I'm going to remember everything, but right now, I'm really not. Oh, I forgot this. I wonder if... Well, these came with this insulation, so I guess they're for fixing the insulation onto the pipe. Yeah. Let's just assume that. Put this through here, and then hopefully for the last time put it back on the machine up here. Then I have to tighten this. So we have the exhaust pipe mounted in there, up there, and then we have the air intake, the black one, mounted right next to it, and in between the two we have the fuel connection. Now, why does the fuel connection have to be so close to the exhaust, which apparently gets really hot? Oh well. It must work because, well, it works. So let's go have a look at the outside, see how it looks out there, see if we can mount the muffler. Okay, now this is how it looks from out here. Well, maybe we need to close the hole around the pipe. I just stuck the insulation in between the pipe and the hole from the inside, so I think we have it plugged, but yeah, it would be nice to do something, but not today. Today I just want to start it. I want to mount it and start it, and then we can always fine tune it. This whole building needs some TLC because, yeah, you can see it. But now we have to mount this muffler on there somehow, and like that. And then I think we'll point it downwards. Or is that okay to do that? I will point it downwards somewhat anyways, because yeah, I don't really know about this. We'll have to try it and see how it goes. And then, well, maybe we'll make a proper exhaust for this one. But I think for now, this should be okay. I don't see any fire hazards or anything because, well, the brick can't light on fire, and I think all this should be okay. We'll see how hot it gets. If it gets really hot, we'll turn it and make it point upwards again. Okay, I just put some screws in the foundation of the heater so it won't jump off the table. And then I think it's time to put some power on it. Now, it says on the machine that it can take both 12 or not both, either 12 or 24 volts. And I would like to do 24 volts because I normally connect these two batteries in series to make 24 volts for the starter on Carla. So we might as well do the same here. And also I only have a 24 volt charger. So it would be convenient to just leave them at 24 volt and charge them with the 24 volt charger. So I think we'll do that. Hopefully there's nothing I have to change on the machine. I've been looking through the manual and it doesn't say anything. I've been looking at YouTube videos and I can't really figure out what to change. So we should just be able to put 24 volts to it and then, well, let's see how it goes. This, I know, is a bit overkill, but I need these because the wires that comes with the machine has no ends on them. If just they had a clamp or something, but no. So I need this small hole to put the wire into and then tighten it. So we'll use these even though it looks quite wild. I hope you can see something in here because it's really dark. Well, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, I've connected the two batteries, negative on one battery to positive on the other battery. With this done, when you draw a wire from positive on this one then and negative on this, then you get 24 volts out of two 12 volt batteries. I could definitely do with something smaller than this, but this is what I have. I've been scavenging Carla for parts. When we took Carla apart, I saved a lot of this and this, and now I can use it. So now we should be able to grab and just negative over here. Okay. Exciting stuff. Hey, it turned on. Well, how are we going to do this? Amazing. It actually turned on. Well, I guess that's what we wanted to do, but I would like to show you the display, but the way I mounted it, okay, of course. So yeah, I think we should put some diesel in it and then see if we can fire it up. Just have some of the diesel we use when I start up Carla. Whoa. Okay. I'll just have to mount this probably. Okay, let's try again. Okie dokie. Well, what do I know? Now I actually think it's time to try to start this up. Okay, apparently we have to prime this. And it's not priming like pumping it manually. It's priming by pressing the two buttons over here at the same time. That should prime, make the oil pump start pumping. And then we'll pump the oil all the way until we can see it right beneath the fuel or the burner down here. anyways, that's how it should be done. Let's see how it goes. I'll press these. Maybe you want to have a look. Oh, okay, yeah, it stops, of course. I have to keep the buttons pressed in. Stop. Thank you. There's definitely some air bubbles in the system, but I don't want to pump it too much because then... Well, we definitely have fuel down here. Even though there's a rather large piece of the pipe here, not filled with fuel, but we do have the fuel down there. So I think it should be all right. I don't want to overfill it with fuel because then the manual says it will blow a lot of white smoke, and we don't want that. So let's try starting it up. How do we start it? Power on. Long press the power on. Start heating. Should we put on the cover? Nah, we'll see what happens. I was a bit concerned that maybe we didn't have enough power in the 2 batteries, so not having any error codes right now is really nice. Okay, we're definitely starting to get some hot air now. It is smoking quite a lot. But then again, it is really hot. I wonder if it's supposed to smoke like that. I'll just go have a look at the outside. You keep an eye on this for me. Well, I just had it at full throttle once again, and it seems like the smoke was just because the exhaust was heating up and it has to burn off any excess material in there. Luckily, nothing's wrong. It's heating really well, really well. It's really putting out a lot of heat, especially when I turn it all the way up to 6. It's got 6 levels. When I turn it up to 6, it heats really well. One thing I don't like though is that click-clack noise. It is the fuel pump. And of course the fuel pump has to run to pump fuel into the machine, but it's really noisy. I just looked it up online and they say if you disconnect the fuel pump or isolate it from the frame of the machine, I can feel the fuel pump in the table. So I think that'll make a huge difference. But if that doesn't work, I'm thinking of maybe building a cupboard around this thing and just putting this out of the cupboard. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do that. At least that would remove some of the noise. And with me doing a lot of videos for you guys, I think this noise would be really irritating. So yeah, but I'll just turn it up to full throttle once again, and then we'll go have a listen on the outside and see how much noise it makes out there, because we do have neighbors, and yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, no doubt it's an exhaust, but it doesn't sound too terrible. Okay, it's been a few days and I've really been working around with this. I've tried a lot of things because I might be able to get used to the click-clack from the pump, but when we have to make videos, it's just not good enough. We cannot edit out the tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock all the time. Yeah, so I had to find a solution, and first I thought maybe I could find another fuel pump. And lo and behold, we actually did have another fuel pump. It's from the heater that was mounted in Carla. I saved this one. I tried putting it in the system, and then the machine started smoking. Really smoking. It turns out this is bigger than the one that's in there, so this is giving the machine way too much fuel. But the good thing about having this is that we also had some extra fuel connections and an extra wire actually. So now I was able to take the fuel pump out of the machine and put it somewhere. Then I made this box. Took me some time actually. I made this box. I insulated it really good. I think I used some time making it. I put the fuel pump in there. I made some small holes and stuff for the hoses and everything. And I turned it on. And it went click, clack, click, clack, click. Almost just the same. You could definitely hear it in here. Even over the noise of this. But then I had an idea. Why not drill a hole in the wall and put the pump on the outside? So now I've made a small roof. The pump is hanging on the wall outside. I made a small house for it that's open in the bottom. It's nice, it's dry, and the noise is all outside now. So now we don't have any click noise in here. It's only the poor birds living outside that can hear it. But that really works. I should have done that from the beginning, of course, but yeah, that's how it is. So all in all, I'm really happy with it. I've been running it today, and it's giving off real good heat. The workshop gets nice and cozy. I can walk around in here without my winter jacket. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I might shorten the hoses or all this hose work down there. But for now, until I know if I'm going to change it, well, I'll leave it be. And with that, I think it's time to end this video for today. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the outside part of this setup right now because it's gotten dark outside and I don't have a flashlight with me. So it'll have to be another day. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. And if you feel like it, go join the membership on YouTube. That'll give you early access to the videos. So thank you very much for watching and see you next time.